Alrighty, welcome everybody back to another episode of the Ball Knower podcast. I'm your host, as always, David Miller. I did it again. Joined today by my wonderful co-host Andrew Watkins. Now, first and foremost, Andrew, how are you today?
I'm fantastic. Earlier on in the day, my varsity soccer team played our first game. Well,
Okay,
we played 2 games in one day, which is why I'm so tired.
makes sense.
But we went 2-0 and I scored twice, so I'm on cloud 9.
Okay, Hollywood,
I
I
know.
see you.
I know.
Future Real Madrid superstar Andrew Watkins. Did I pronounce that right?
It's good enough.
I'll take it. I'll take good enough. Yeah, that's awesome. You start, right?
Yeah, I do.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, because I remember when I went to your game last year, this boy was just a rotator or whatever you call it,
Yeah,
a rotational piece. Now he's a starter. Look at him moving up in the world.
yeah. I'm very proud.
How's choir going?
It's going pretty good. We're like looking at shows now.
Ooh. Okay. He just muted himself.
One second. We were looking at how to succeed in business without really trying.
Okay.
Is it better now? Because
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
it came
You're
unplugged
good.
for some reason.
You're good.
We were looking at how to succeed in business without really trying, which on Broadway had Daniel Radcliffe in it for some reason.
Sick.
It is sick. But like the whole time we were sitting there, I was like, I really don't want to do this for my senior show. Because I was sitting there, and it's like kind of funny.
At least, respectfully, at least you get a real senior show. I don't want to hear it. Dude, I was in the car the other day with my mom and a song from Songs for a New World came on, and she got excited. And I swear to God, I had Vietnam flashbacks.
I listened to the soundtrack
I do too, but only very specific songs.
Yeah.
Like the song that came on, I already forgot the name of it. It's the one I had to sing where it was me and Kyle were the only dudes, and I hated it. The one that I like vocally hated with a passion. I'm not afraid of anything.
Yes.
Yeah, that came on. And I was awful. Like, God.
That's the worst song.
It was so bad. I hated every second of it. I hated every second of it. But like some of the songs from the soundtrack go hard. It's just not a real show.
Yeah, unfortunately. It is. Yeah. The music is fantastic.
Yeah. And this man over here had the best song in the whole damn show.
What are you talking about?
She cries? Yeah. She Cries goes hard.
It does go hard.
It goes hard. It goes unexplainably hard.
Yeah.
She Cries and River were the two best.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can guarantee about 90% of the people that are planning on watching this have already tuned out because we're sitting here talking about theater.
Yeah, we gotta save that for later in the episode.
Right, we gotta reel them in with sports and be like, hey, by the way, we're fucking nerds. No, speaking of nerdy stuff, I got my question for you. Mm-hmm. Do you know what the #1 trending movie on Netflix is right now?
No.
Do you want to take a guess?
What even is on net? Oh my! No, I don't. What is on Netflix? I'm scared. What is it?
It's Morbius.
Oh, I didn't want to say it.
Yeah, Morbius got added to Netflix like 3 days ago.
They lost it. They gave Morbius to Netflix.
They gave it to Netflix.
That's desperate.
It is desperate. It is very desperate, but you know, it's Morbin time, baby.
I hate it so much. God.
Oh. I gotta rewatch it. I really do.
I'm never watching that movie again, happily.
Oh my. All right, well, moving on to something that makes me angry. The Cavaliers did a thing. They did a big thing. They went out and they got Spida himself, Donovan Mitchell, for like Nothing other than Darius Garland, right?
No, it was Colin Sexton.
Oh,
They,
Colin Sexton. Fuck. Listen, I knew it was one of them. They got two guards that are basically the same player. One's just a little bit better.
yeah.
Oh yeah, it was Colin Sexton because all the Jazz fans were excited that they now have gay sex on their team.
Yeah, that is hilarious.
That is very funny. But what was the full trade package for Donovan Mitchell?
What I'm seeing right now is Lauri Markkanen.
Lauri Markkanen got traded?
Yeah.
No. Well, actually, no. This is good. I don't want him in Cleveland.
3 first-round picks, 2 pick swaps, and Colin Sexton.
And Ochai Agbaji?
Yeah, I was just gonna skip that because I couldn't pronounce it, but he's there too. I didn't want to risk it.
I mean, listen, I didn't pay attention to the draft. I don't know who this man is, but Lauri Markkanen, Colin Sexton, 3 unprotected firsts and 2 pick swaps for Donovan Mitchell is a damn good deal.
Yep.
He gave up a lot, but it is a damn good trade. And didn't the Knicks have a trade in place that was like more?
Of course they did.
And then they're just like, no, fuck the Knicks.
Yeah.
Which I'm glad every NBA team has kind of just resorted to fuck the Knicks. Like, seriously, fuck the Knicks. I'm glad nobody likes the Knicks. But the Cavs is such a nice young core and Kevin Love. And it makes me so scared.
He's somehow still on that team. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, after all these years, after all of the moves they've made, it's just Kevin Love is still there. The Cavs are going to be scary.
Yeah.
Basketball man, talk about the Cavs.
The thing is, like, they're all scary and all that. They have a really good young core, but like, it's the East is like probably the better conference at this point. It actually is definitely the better conference.
Certainly.
And like, you can say that the Cavs are that good however much you want, but are they better than like the Bucks or the Heat or the Celtics or any of those other teams that are like in the middle of the pack?
I'd say they're better than like the Bulls and the Sixers.
Yeah.
The Raptors, they're better than like they're better than the middle of the pack teams, but I'm not sure if they stack up with the big 3 like you said.
Exactly. Like, if usually in a trade that big, like in any other year where it's not like crazy spread out and all that, but like that's like a huge trade. Like, that's making the Cavs an instant contender, but instead it's like it's making them like the 4th or 5th seed because the East is so good right now.
Yeah, that's crazy to think about, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because did anyone? Maybe I'm blanking. Other than the Sixers getting Harden, did any of the other top teams in the East really add anything?
Not really. They didn't really need to. I mean, the Bucks had an issue with the injuries and all that. Celtics made the finals. The Heat just couldn't piece it together against a team that went to the finals. So
yeah, I mean the East is going to be fun this year.
Yeah.
And I hate that the Bulls might be in the worst position out of all of the like contenders in the East, if the Bulls are even a contender at this point. Because like Lonzo can't stay healthy. DeMar screwed it in the playoffs last year. Vooch sucks. All the young pieces are not developing the way they should. Like they are in a bad spot.
They're in a real bad spot.
I hope to God they find some sort of package for Vooch and Kobe White by the trade deadline. And even if they bring in like a slightly worse center, like overall game wise, if they can bring in anybody that just has a lick of defense, I would be so happy. Like they brought in Drummond, which is cool, but he can't be your starter.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm cool with Drummond as your center off the bench, and then Goran Dragic, sure. I still don't understand that move personally. It's strange. Like, I don't know. I'm just very disappointed in the Bulls. And then I see the Cavs go out and trade for fucking Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm so excited about this basketball team. And then everything went to shit.
Yeah, I was high on the Bulls last year too.
Well, yeah, we both were. We raved about the Bulls all season. And then everyone was like, well, hold on, wait a minute. We're all going to get hurt. And then Vooch forgot how to play basketball. and then they went to the playoffs and shit the bed.
Yep.
It was sad, heartbreaking. But the Cavs are going to be a fun team for a long time because all their pieces are really young. Like,
Yeah.
how old is their oldest core piece? Like 24?
I think it's Donovan Mitchell at 24. Because Jared Allen's 23.
No, Donovan Mitchell's 26. So it's Donovan Mitchell.
Jesus.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
I feel like he's been young for like 4 or 5 years is the thing.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Jetty Osman's 27.
Oh, well,
He is the heart and soul of that team.
he's like the outer rim of the core.
No, he is the core. It's Jetty Osman's world, and they're all living in it, okay?
Mhm.
He's got that sneaky, athletic, guy you'd want to date your daughter vibe.
Yeah.
First guy in, last guy out mentality. Real gritty, real fundamental. He is that team. But in all seriousness, like, this team is really young. You know,
Yeah.
some of the other pieces there, obviously, you got Mobley. There's 2 Mobleys on this team?
What?
There's an Isaiah Mobley on this team, as well as Evan Mobley.
Huh.
Interesting. Also, I did not know there was a player in the NBA named RJ Nembhard. And I think that's a funny name. Like, I never heard of this guy. RJ Nembhard Jr. He is a 23-year-old shooting guard. Wears the number 5.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't really have much else to add to that. Just the Cavs are young. They're going to be good.
Yeah.
They're going to be good for a while. I'm scared. I don't like it when the Cavs succeed. I don't like the Cavs.
Not at all.
Yeah. I saw someone too on Twitter. I thought this was really funny with 2K23 coming out yesterday, I think, 2 days ago. Somebody said the Cavs are like the ultimate destination if you're going to make a forward on my career.
Yeah.
And I couldn't agree more. You got to take Jetty's spot, but
yeah,
I mean,
unfortunate.
Kind of crazy, kind of cracked.
Yeah.
Although I always make a forward, and I always go to the Bulls. I just make them play DeMar at power forward.
Makes sense.
I'm like that. I'm just cool like that.
I always play a point guard, and it's been like impossible for me to play for the Celtics for like the past 5 years. Because like we had Kyrie and then we had Kemba, and I was like, I don't want to step on their toes. So,
bro, it's a video game.
I'm just trying to be respectful.
It's a video game.
I'm trying to be respectful.
They're not real. They don't care. They do not care about you, bro. They don't know you, little homie.
I wish. God.
No. So who do you play for? If you don't play for the Celtics,
I just like find a interesting team every year. I think a couple years ago I went to the Timberwolves, like 2K17, I think, because they had like Jimmy Butler and Andrew Wiggins and Cat.
Fair.
That's prime. I haven't played 2K in so long. I'm just so bored of that game.
See, I don't know. I should get like that with sports games, but I just get so into it. Like, my career is so fun. Like, I made a forward last year, and I got drafted by the Warriors. I don't think you could pick where you went last year. Or maybe you could, and I just picked the wrong team. But I went to the Warriors and then traded myself to the Bulls. But, like, running around as the third Splash Brother was kind of heat. It was a lot of fun. Made Andrew Wiggins come off the bench like the beta he is.
The beta.
He just couldn't handle the big dog energy of David Miller running around with a borderline fro and See, I always trick my dude out. I get like the headband, I get the Kareem goggles, 2 arm sleeves, 2 leg sleeves, a pair of Jordan 1s. Like, I look like the whitest dude at the rec center running around out there. And then you take that online and like you're actually running rec, and I'm dressed like that, and I'm lobbing it to like a 7'6" behemoth black man that could just like eat me if he wanted to. It's just so funny. I love 2K. I hate it, but I love it.
Yeah.
That's kind of my relationship with all sports games. Like Madden, fucking disgusting online, but I love Madden. I like when I play Madden, I don't spend money on it, obviously, because that's pointless. Why would you spend money on virtual packs, right?
Yeah.
Unless I like get gifted money for Christmas or something. I don't have anything better to do, but I don't go out of my way, right? So playing no money spent, I'm always like behind everybody. And it's so hard to play online when that's the case. Because like you'll have a solid team, but then you go out there and some dude's got 99 Randy Moss and he can run the same route every single play and just chuck it up and you can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
So you just have to sit there and cope. And like that's not fun to me. That's why I hate playing Madden online. If you run the same play over and over again on Madden, you are a degenerate and you don't deserve to have hands to play that game.
Oh
Your
my
hands
God.
should be removed. I only play simulation football on Madden with my fullback dives and I form with play action bootlegs on second down and uh, 3/4 quarters, or yeah, 3/4 quarters defense used to be. Now I run 4-3 because that's what the Bears are running. Like I am a pure simulation Madden player. Unless I'm fucking around, then I just run design plays to the fullback because funny. Yeah. I beat someone that we had on the podcast for the Packers preview, Jake Talk Sports. I beat him online just using a fullback. I played with the Raiders and I just threw it up to Alec Ingold every single play and I won. And like I don't know how you recover from that. I really don't.
You gotta get that on tape. You gotta get that on tape.
He was streaming the game. It's there somewhere.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Incredible branding for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Speaking of branding, just putting it out there with fullbacks. I'm in like 20 fantasy leagues, and in every single fantasy league, I have Cole Kmet, David Montgomery, and a fullback. Every single league I've drafted a fullback, whether it's Kyle Juszczyk, Kari Blasingame, Pat Ricard. I have a fullback in every single league. And I get clowned so hard for it, and I simply do not care.
It'll work out.
It will. It will. I'm in a 32 person league, and they all think it's funny, but one of these days a fullback's going to score me like 1.5 and that's going to win me a game because we're dealing with like 5th string receivers and 6th string running backs. Like, it's going to work out. It's going to work. But speaking of football, we're recording this Saturday night at approximately 11:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that means football's on tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I'm going to jump to tomorrow because I assume you didn't watch the Rams-Bills game.
I did not. I was at practice for soccer.
That's valid. That's valid. But you didn't miss much. The Bills mollywopped the Rams, and everyone thinks Matt Stafford's racist now.
Because he didn't pass to Allen Robinson. That's so funny.
It really is. Listen, as someone who is actively preying on Allen Robinson's downfall, I hope it continues. I really do. I wish nothing but the worst for Allen Robinson. You can call me a salty Bears fan all you want, because you're right, I am. I'm salty as fuck, and I don't care.
Yeah.
But yeah, the game was horrendous. Josh Allen looked like a fucking meta-human out there doing ungodly things. The Bills' fullback, Reggie Gilliam, looked great, which is great for my agendas. I've said a few times now that I thought he was going to have a big year because the Bills are going to like actually run the ball this year, and they ran the ball well yesterday or Thursday, and he looked good until he got hurt and was taken out of the game. But he's okay. He's all right. Oh, real quick before we get into that, speaking of fullbacks, I posted this on Twitter. I don't know if I told you about this, but the Bears fullback follows me on Twitter now.
Big leagues.
Mm-hmm.
Big leagues.
Kari Blasingame. I'm going to get him on the podcast. That's the goal now.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Yeah. Second fullback we'll have had on.
Second fullback.
Poor Clint Radkovich.
Yeah.
Still hasn't gotten signed.
Yeah. He'll get there. I believe
he'll get there. Yeah. I hope Clint goes since he he can't like get drafted or anything now. I hope he goes like the XFL route and plays really well there, and then some NFL team picks him up, because it'd be sick to see him just tear it up against shitty players.
I agree with that actually a
Because
lot.
he'd take that league over, dude. He would go bonkers. But anyways, uh, NFL games tomorrow. Andrew, are there any games on the slate that you are particularly excited for?
Um, I'm looking at two right now.
Okay. Okay.
First of all, the one that I think is just entertaining for entertainment's sake, the Raiders and Chargers,
Okay. Yeah.
because I want to see how Derek Carr and Devontae Adams link up against a team like the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
And I just love watching like Justin Herbert, period.
Yeah.
So
Justin
I'm just hyped
Herbert
for that.
is, yeah. The good thing about that game too, well, I guess not the good thing, but like for the sake of what you want to see with Herbert or with Carr and Adams, is that the Chargers' number one corner, J.C. Jackson, isn't going to be playing. So you're going to have Adams up against, I don't know who their second corner is. I got to double check that. But either way, he's going to be primed to just absolutely rip shit
Yeah.
up. And I agree. I'm super excited to see it. And Justin Herbert, I mean, a lot of people are picking him to win MVP this year. He's such a talented ball player. And he finally has a defense, which he's never had up to this point. And that's what cost him a playoff run last year. So it'll definitely be interesting to see what the Chargers are going to do. I don't like that game is either going to be really close or the Chargers are going to absolutely mollywop the Raiders. So it'll be interesting to see which happens. What time is that game? Oh, it's a 4 o'clock game.
Yeah,
Okay.
4:25. Yeah.
That's going to be the 4 o'clock game I watch then. I still got to pull up the step chart. I got to double check. I don't remember who their second corner is off the top of my head. But while I look this up, what's the other game
The
that you're
Browns
looking at?
Panthers
Oh, of course. Okay.
for pretty obvious reasons.
Right, right. Oh, their other corner is Asante Samuel Jr. So a second year guy. That'll definitely be something. Ooh. I'm excited. I'm really excited for that because Asante Samuel Jr. looked good last year, but Tay Adams is a whole other fucking beast to
Yeah.
deal with.
Best receiver in the league, in my opinion. I think
Absolutely.
in a lot of people's opinions,
I
actually.
agree.
That's not a
Yeah.
hot take. That's not a
No,
hot take at all.
I was going to say that's not a hot take by any means. The Browns and Panthers, I mean, you said it's for obvious reasons, but what are these obvious reasons that excite you?
Although it's very, 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 very unlikely to happen, I just want to see Baker go off in a revenge game. That's literally like the only reason.
Yeah. I don't think it's that unlikely. I think the Panthers are going to win this game.
Yeah.
Like I did my my schedule predictions yesterday on TikTok, and I think the Panthers are absolutely going to win this game. I'm not very confident in the Browns this year without Watson. I think Jacoby Brissett, people gave Baker a lot of shit last year for his play. Browns fans don't even know what's coming with Brissett, right? He's not a good quarterback. In this team, they don't have a starting center. A lot of their pieces are kind of unproven. Their receiver core is pretty weak. So they're going to struggle. A lot of Browns fans were mad I picked them to go like 5-12, and they were really upset by that. But this team has a lot of weaknesses for as much talent as it has. Like, yeah, the defense is going to be great, but I can tell you from personal experience, if your defense is on the field every goddamn play, it doesn't matter how good they are. I watched a team coming off a generational season in 2018 go into 2019 and not be able to do a damn thing because they were on the field every single play in Chicago. So if that happens to Cleveland, it's probably going to be a whole lot of the same, so to speak. And with Baker, he's in a new system. He has I stubbed my toe. He's in a new system. He has nice weapons around him. He's got DJ Moore, who's a stud. Running backs are great. Christian McCaffrey's going to be healthy. Offensive line is upgraded. Defense is solid. Have a shitty head coach, but Baker's one of those guys that's just going to say fuck it and take over at some point. So I think we can absolutely see a world where Baker pops off for like 2 or 3 touchdowns and absolutely mollywops the Browns. And I really hope that's what happens. I really, really do, because I'm going to be pushing the nastiest anti-Browns agenda tomorrow if that happens. Like, I'm preying on their downfall so hard.
I'm pushing that for the whole year,
Oh, I
actually.
agree. Yeah. I want the Browns to lose up until they get Watson and then continue to lose once they get, like, I want them to get Watson without a single win. And then all that pressure is going to be on his shoulders and he's not going to have anybody to massage the tension out of him. So he's going to fall apart hard at the end of the year and not do anything. I'm sorry. I had to.
That was a
It
good
was
one.
there.
That
Yeah.
was it's a layup. I mean, you got to
Yeah,
take it.
it was. It was. Yeah, I agree though. I think those two games are definitely going to be interesting to watch. Um, Obviously my big one got to be the Bears and the 49ers just cuz I'm excited to see what the new offense is going to look like in full form. You know, we saw a little bit of a taste of it in the preseason. It looked solid. You know, Justin Fields balled the fuck out against Cleveland that third preseason game. The Bears let him play a full half. He kind of opened up the playbook for him a little bit. And I think if you're able to do that against the Niners, which you're going to have a great defense, so you're going to have to really scheme around that. Like you have Nick Bosa, who's going to be going up against Larry Borum, who was a fifth-round pick last year, and Braxton Jones, who's a sixth-round rookie this year. It's going to be tough, but I think Chicago is in a spot where they can at least put up a fight. You know, they're going against Trey Lance, who's a second-year quarterback, didn't play at all last year. And while I have high expectations for him throughout the season, first week's going to be rough for him.
Yeah.
And he's going up against a defense that doesn't have a ton of talent, but it's ran by a super smart coordinator with Alan Williams, who's our defensive coordinator, and then Matt Eberflus, who's pulling the strings up top. The two of them are really going to have a field day, just trying to trick Lance as much as possible, put as much pressure on him, you know, fake blitz packages, different coverages, things like that. You know, just what coaches do. I'm just describing a coach's job at this point. But the Bears have talent on defense, and I think they'll be able to take advantage of it. I'm excited to see how the young secondary is going to fare against him. My biggest issue offensively, at least with the Niners' weapons, was George Kittle because I was worried about who was going to guard him, but he's probably not playing tomorrow, which is big. So I don't have any problems with like Jalen Johnson or Deebo Samuel or anything. And the Bears' offense will be fun to watch. And it's supposed to rain a lot too, so it's probably going to be like an old school black and blue muddy run heavy game, which would be beautiful
Ooh.
considering both teams have top 5 fullbacks. You know, just getting in there, letting them do their job, letting David Montgomery and Elijah Mitchell kind of take over. It'd be a ton of fun.
Yeah.
Another game here I'm super excited for is Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. And I hate to say it, but it's because I'm so excited to watch Mitchell Trubisky get fucking exposed. So people will shut the fuck up about Trubisky. Like, I get it. Y'all had Ben Roethlisberger like the corpse of Ben Roethlisberger last year at quarterback, right? I get it. So you think any quarterback with a little bit of mobility to him is going to be decent. He's going to be better. But I can tell you right now, Mitch isn't. You know, I've gone off about it on here. I've gone off about it on Twitter, TikTok, everywhere. He has no redeeming qualities as a passer, can't hit an open receiver consistently, can't read a defense, can't sense pressure, can't step up in the pocket and deliver. I don't know. What else am I missing that quarterbacks have to do? Anything a quarterback has to do, he's bad at other than running. He can't throw to the left side of the field to save his life. Like half of the field is off the table when he's reading the defense. The only time you can make him succeed is on a naked bootleg to the right where he can just dump it off. And you can't do that every play if you want to win a football game. That's not how it works. The Bears did that once against the Houston Texans, and they won. But that's the Texans. You're playing the Bengals, who were just in the Super Bowl last year. And their defense is going to look better. They added Dax Hill, who I'm a huge fan of. Their offensive line got better. I just think the Bengals are going to go in there and fucking obliterate Pittsburgh. And everyone who is on Pittsburgh's dick thinking that they're somehow going to end up with a 500 record despite not having a quarterback and not having an offensive line, they're just going to look like idiots tomorrow. And I'm so excited for it. And if somehow Cincinnati loses that game, I'm going to look like a jackass, but I'm fairly confident that won't happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's completely understandable.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, dude, you need a quarterback in the NFL. In Pittsburgh, great defense, no fucking quarterback whatsoever. It's just non-existent.
Yeah.
Another game that's going to be good. We got the Packers and the Vikings, and I think, like, I guess this is technically an upset, but people are weirdly high on the Vikings this year. I think the Vikings are probably going to win this game just because the Packers are going to be missing two of their starting linemen and their number one receiver, to my knowledge, and Green Bay's receiver core is already dog shit enough.
Yeah, I was gonna say their number one receiver,
Right,
aka
Alan
like a
Lazard, who
yeah,
would
like
be
a
like
wide
a
receiver 3 on another
yeah,
team.
pretty much, yeah. So that just like it's going to be even worse. They're going to be. I think Christian Watson's hurt too, so they're not going to have him. I could be wrong about that. I know he's been hurt most of the offseason. I don't know if he's good yet or not. Um, but just as a whole, missing two linemen and your, like you said, number one receiver is not a good look. And Minnesota's offense, as much as I hate Kirk Cousins, is going to end up being explosive this year because their offensive play caller, Kevin O'Connell, is unfortunately kind of a genius. And he's going to be able to do some really crazy shit with guys like Justin Jefferson and Dalvin Cook. So Kirk's just going to kind of be able to sit there and wait for somebody to get open, which he's very good at doing. So
I
he'll be
hate
able to
I
take
hate
advantage
Kirk
of it.
though. I hate
I
Kirk
do
though.
too. I hate him
God.
so much. I hate him
Least
so
least
much.
favorite white boy other than like Tyler Harrow.
Least favorite white boy. Have you ever heard Kirk Cousins talk about the vaccine?
No, and I don't really want to.
Somebody asked him why he wasn't getting vaccinated, and he basically said, "Well, if I die, I die."
Jesus.
So, if you follow me on social media, you know I refer to him as Kirk. If I die, I die Cousins for that reason. Um, it's not original and it's not that funny, but I like reminding people of the fact that he's a piece of shit off the field and
Yeah.
won't do the bare minimum, which his body, his choice, I guess, but I can still shame him for it,
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of like Aaron Rodgers, which you've off top. Well, I guess not that off topic because we were just talking about the Packers. Have you heard about his recent Joe Rogan podcast appearance?
I think I've seen videos, but I don't know what you're talking about specifically.
He admitted that, like, in his spare time, he takes this I forget the name of it, but it's this psychedelic
Mm-hmm.
herbal tea bullshit,
Mm-hmm.
basically. Like, I brought this up on another podcast. I was talking to Geek about it. I don't know if this is a racist stereotype or not, but like, how when you watch movies about cowboys and Native Americans, the cowboy will get like pulled into the tribe and they'll be like, drink this, and they'll give him like a bowl of something that he just trips the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like 80% sure it's that. Like, I think Rogers is doing like something similar to that at the very least, because that's what it is. You take like leaves, you crumble them up, you turn them into a liquid, and you drink them, and it makes you trip. And like, it's legal. He's not going to get in any trouble for it or anything. But he was just openly talking about it on Joe Rogan like it's not a big deal, and nobody cared. And he also, and again, this is legal. He can't get in any trouble for it. He admitted to like being high off his ass on painkillers for a lot of different games.
Yeah, I was gonna say I heard that he said that he would not have been able to win the MVP or something
Yeah,
without.
yeah. Like, I can remember there was a game. I think it was definitely 2018 because it was the game where Khalil Mack, his like debut with the Bears, he popped off. The Bears ended up losing because Aaron Rodgers came out the second half and balled out, right? And if you watch uh, him getting interviewed after the game, sideline reporter stopped and was like, asked him like, "Hey, Aaron, what happened? Why'd you get pulled out of the game?" And he just goes, "I hurt my knee," and then runs off. And like the whole internet went crazy with that and was like, "Dude is fucking off something." And turns out he was. It's so funny though, because I mean, literally, he was just sitting there like panning, and she was like, "Aaron, what happened?" He goes, "I hurt my knee." just like as enthusiastic and out of it as possible. But the reason I wanted to bring that up is because I think it's funny, and maybe I'm reaching here. Let me know if I'm reaching on this, but I've talked to a lot of people about it, and they seem to agree. Aaron Rodgers talking about this stuff is all fine and dandy, right? But imagine if someone like Lamar Jackson or Justin Fields or Jalen Hurts went on a podcast and was like, "Hey, I use drugs in my free time, or I use substances in my free time." Imagine the reaction if
Mhm.
a black quarterback came out and said something like that. These thugs are setting terrible examples. That's their favorite word. They love to call them thugs. These thugs are setting terrible examples for our kids. This thug shouldn't be on the field. That thug shouldn't be doing that. I just think it's bullshit, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying that should be the reaction to Aaron Rodgers doing it. Like I said, I don't care. It's legal. The NFL allows it. I don't care. But I just hate that we know for a fact if that were the case, that would be the reaction to that. And I just can't stand the double standard.
Yeah. It's
really
like a
infuriating.
middle-aged white man doing it instead of like
Yeah,
a
I mean, you can.
young black dude.
Yeah, exactly. Any black player in the NFL, if they came out and were like, yeah, in my free time, I do herbal psychedelics, fucking all over them.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I actually made a tweet about it a couple weeks back. And a lot of the responses were like, no, that's not the case. We just don't care because Rodgers is well respected and those guys haven't proven anything. Well, Lamar Jackson's a former fucking MVP.
Yeah.
And I can guarantee you if he came out and said it, that would be the reaction. No doubt in my mind, I'd put money on it.
Yeah.
And, it's funny because all of the replies to that tweet that were like against me were the people that are like the stereotype you'd imagine, right? Balding white man, American flag profile pictures,
Yep.
MAGA 2024 in the bio, all that type of shit. And I actually had one guy, couple guys really, but one guy that stood out to me, literally like Trump hat in the profile picture, MAGA 2024, father of three, all that type of shit. And he had True American in his bio, by the way.
Oh
Just
my
put that out there.
God.
True American or True Patriot. I'm sorry, True Patriot.
That's so much worse.
I don't remember how he put it, but basically he said that he put me 6 feet under if he saw me in person.
Oh my God.
And I was like, damn, you just proved my point, friend.
Thanks, bud.
Yeah, but also I got scared, so I deleted the tweet. Because, like, I've had this happen twice now in the past month and a half, where I tweeted about something controversial and it, like, got way bigger than it should have because I don't have a big Twitter following. And then the response to it is overwhelmingly negative. But, like, for the wrong reasons, It's not like me saying some dumb shit and people calling me out on it. Like, the first one was about Matt Ariza. And people were like, well, innocent until proven guilty. They were only a couple years apart. She could consent. She was 17. No, she couldn't. But anyways, there was that. And then the Lamar Jackson, Aaron Rodgers thing, right? And I never thought I'd see the day. And maybe, some people look at it as like a rite of passage as like a content creator where I got death threats over a fucking tweet. And like, the only reason I got scared is because I know people on the internet are fucking nutcases.
Yeah.
So I just know somebody would have taken it too far. Once I saw that, I was like, all right, I'm done. Not dealing with it. And then I probably shouldn't have done this because in hindsight, it feels kind of like attention hoary. But I was like, I just had to delete a tweet because I got a death threat, if anyone's wondering where the tweet went. And some guy replied to it with like a screenshot of the tweet. And he's like, I got you, bud. And I was like, okay, dude, I'm not ashamed of what I said. I just don't want people telling me they're going to fuck me up. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care. And then somebody else replied to him, was like, you don't get any death threats. And some guy that I'm mutuals with on Twitter replied to him and said, yeah, because you can definitely see his DMs. You definitely know what's going on.
Jesus, man.
Yeah. But that whole situation was just so goofy. The internet is such a goofy place to where, you express your opinion and people legitimately want to kill you over it. And like I said, it's not even like I said some ignorant, stupid shit. If I would have said something, legitimately threatening, I'm not going to say what that would be because I don't want it to get interpreted like I actually said it. But like, I could have said some fuck shit. And even then, it would probably be a little bit too much. But at least, I guess there would be some sort of like grounds for it. But for me to be like, I think there's a little bit of a double standard between black and white players in the NFL, just to get that kind of response is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then I was telling that story to Geek, and he told me he's gotten death threats over his opinions on fucking video games before.
Yeah, people are crazy on the
People
internet,
are
dude.
fucking nuts. completely off topic, but relevant to what's going on in the world today. Speaking of people being fucking crazy on the internet, have you seen the memes about the Queen?
I've seen some memes about the Queen. In my opinion, they're not crazy. I'm
They're
wondering what
not
you're seeing.
crazy. I think they're fucking hysterical, is my
Yes.
point.
Yeah.
But it's just relating to like the internet being an insane place because we're talking about the second oldest living political figure on the planet. Number one, still Jimmy Carter, still kicking it at the age of 97 down south somewhere. But the Queen at 96, she fucking dies. And the response is like, ding dong, the witch is dead. And just, I saw one where it was like an ESPN playoff graphic and it was just her picture and then it said eliminated. And then I saw another video where there was this group of like Irish dudes in suits dancing outside of Buckingham Palace.
Jesus, man.
It's so fucked. But like, I think I don't want to say it's okay to make fun of somebody's death, but like the Queen was a shitty person, so I feel like it's more acceptable, you know? Like
Yeah.
she was legitimately like racist and believed in white supremacy and shit, and she like covered up her son being on Epstein's island and all sorts of shit. Like she was awful.
Yeah.
So I think it's okay to laugh at the memes. And then the British people are like, it's not really funny, is it? You know, that was a terrible accent.
Yeah.
But I don't care. British people aren't people.
My one of my friends made a joke where like they asked like now that the Queen is dead, are they gonna drop the accents or is that like a thing that they're just gonna keep doing?
They're still gonna commit to the bit.
Yeah, I mean like it's over now. The joke's
Yeah.
not funny.
No, I think they gotta wait until Charles is out because he's
Yeah.
still in on it.
Yeah.
I, that reminds me of another really good one I saw. It was like a picture of a family mourning at a casket, and over top of it, it said like the majority of the royal family, and then next to it was King Charles, and it was a dude getting fitted for a crown. Like, oh my god, it's so funny, dude. It's so fucking funny. And then I keep seeing these videos too on TikTok where it's like playing like some stereotypical hype uh God, what trap music, right? Real hype trap music from like 2014. And then right before the beat drops, it plays the news clip of them being like, the Queen of England is dead. And then the beat drops. It's so fucking funny. I love the internet. I love and hate it so much.
It's undefeated.
It is undefeated. Like, listen, I swear, people make jokes about it all the time. We could find out an asteroid is hurling towards the planet and we're all about to die, and there would be memes about it.
Yeah.
Like, there would be people out there asking about the asteroid's feelings, and they would be making memes about it. And, like, they would say, like, the asteroid's about the ratio of the planet or some shit.
Yeah.
Like, that, I don't know if that's good or bad, but that's the fucking world we live in. I think it's hysterical.
I think it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It's definitely fine for the most part.
We got so off topic. I mean,
It's fine. It's fine. We were at like 27 minutes and we were starting to run out of football to talk about. So I was like, okay, I got to do something.
well,
So
I was gonna interject and say some stuff.
go ahead. Be my guest.
I mean, I'm looking at like a lot of these games.
Okay.
I'm just gonna get some whiplash from going from what we were just talked about back to football.
Yeah, we
But-
gotta check back into reality real quick.
I'm just like looking at some of these games, and I'm very interested in watching them for one side of it,
Okay.
like Ravens Jets, of course. Specifically for me, the Eagles Lions, because of course, I mean the Eagles made some of the best moves this offseason.
They just added I always forget his fucking name. CJ Gardner Johnson, also known as CD Deuce.
Yeah,
He tried to I think he did temporarily legally change his name to CD
CD
Deuce.
Deuce. CD
Yeah,
Deuce. That is a
yeah,
hilarious. CD Deuce. Are you kidding me?
yeah. No, they traded Jalen Reagor and used the picks they traded Jalen Reagor for to get CJ Gardner Johnson.
That's
The
just a
Eagles are going to
dumb.
be nuts. The
Yeah.
Eagles are going to be nuts, and the Lions are going to be fun at the very least.
Yeah.
Like they have pieces, and Dan Campbell's that fucking guy. So at the very least, you're going to watch the Lions and get hyped. You know, like
Yeah.
I'm probably the only like diehard NFL fan who hasn't watched Hard Knocks yet. I need to so bad because the Lions are on it, and there's specifically one video on like the first episode where Dan Campbell's giving this lecture about like grit and intensity and toughness, and their fullback is just sitting there like locked in. It's fucking beautiful, and I need to watch it for that. And I think Eminem's in it. Just fucking shows up. Yeah,
Jesus. It is
yeah.
meant for you.
It is. It truly is. Dan Campbell, fullbacks, and Eminem. What else do you need in life? Ravens game. What are you excited about for that?
Just the fact that they're not gonna be. Well, it's like a reset for them. You know,
Okay.
they had so many injuries last year
Mm-hmm.
that it just completely derailed their season.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
I want to.
everybody. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go.
I was gonna say everybody but J.K. Dobbins is healthy.
Yeah,
So, and even then, I think J.K. Dobbins might still play.
yeah. I just want to see like if that would completely derail their whole team. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's like a season as bad as that, based off of injuries, like in such a disappointing season. You need to be able to recover from that, and
Mm-hmm.
they will need to. I mean, it's the Jets. Like it's a perfect
Yeah, and the
team to
Jets
do
don't.
that.
They don't even have Zach Wilson. They have Joe Flacco starting week one, which
Yeah.
makes it even better. Um, Another thing with the Ravens game, I'm sure you saw that Lamar tried to negotiate a contract extension and didn't get extended. So
Mhm.
he's playing on the last year of his deal, and then they're planning on franchise tagging him in the offseason. We're going to see a pissed off, motivated Lamar Jackson with a chip on his shoulder, trying to prove his team, the media, and all of his doubters wrong. And with the way Lamar plays and the way his mentality is, that's fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
Like, I'm seeing a lot of people pick Lamar to win MVP, and I understand it completely. I almost did it myself. I came so close to picking Lamar. I ended up going with Tom Brady, and we can talk about that in a second. But like, Lamar is going to have a massive year, and he's either going to get a fucking bag from Baltimore in the offseason, or he's going to tell them to go fuck himself and fuck off to a marginally better team and the or not marginally better, but a different team that is a quarterback away. Look at a team like Miami, maybe Philly if Jalen Hurts doesn't work out. And Baltimore is going to get a bag for him. So you have two options. I personally think he's just going to stick in Baltimore. I'd imagine both sides want to stay together, but
Yeah.
you know sometimes relationships too damaged, you can't fix it. But Lamar is going to be exciting to watch. He's going to have a real wide receiver one this year with Rashad Bateman. I think he's going to have a massive year. He's way better than Hollywood Brown. I know a lot of people like him. I don't see it at all. I don't have any faith in him. I think he's going to suck in Arizona. He's a one-trick pony. That's it. His only benefit is like he's fast, he can get downfield quickly, and Kyler's got a pretty deep ball, but like his hands are unreliable. He's not a great route runner. I just don't have a lot of faith in him.
Yeah.
But with Rashad Bateman, who's a good route runner, he has really good hands. He's going to mesh a lot better with Lamar. And then they have Isaiah Likely, the tight end they drafted. He's going to be able to play receiver. He's going to be able to do a little bit of everything. The running backs, like you said, they're going to be healthy. Their defense is going to be healthy. They just drafted Kyle Hamilton, who's going to be a demon. I know he had a rough preseason. I think he's going to be fantastic. They just added Marcus Williams in free agency, who's going to be great. And above all else, they have Pat Ricard. So they're going to be good. The Ravens are going to be good. I picked them to win their division over Cincinnati. And I think Lamar is going to be very exciting to watch all year. And once J.K. Dobbins is healthy, I think he's going to be a menace as well.
Yeah.
Now, any other games here?
Let me take another peek here.
All right.
I would say Giants Titans, but
Hey, the Titans
absolutely
are
not.
going to be rough this year.
I don't care. The Giants are rougher. They're going like 2-15. I'm not checked into them.
I haven't.
Honestly, this season I'm a 49ers fan. I don't care. I really don't care.
Why?
I don't know. I actually don't understand it, but like I just am obsessed with the 49ers. I think it's because I played a Madden franchise with them, and literally this is what I do on Madden. I play 20 years into the future. Like I got Justin Jefferson on that team, and I played until he retired, and then a couple of years after that, so like very far into the future.
Right.
And I just like started liking them, and they're better than the Giants are by a lot.
So what you're saying is you're a bandwagon.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm
No, it's
saying.
okay. The Niners are like my second favorite team. I get it. I
Exactly.
love Kyle Shanahan. I obviously love Kyle Juszczyk, George Kittle, Fred Warner. Trey
Debo.
Lance is going to be fun. Debo, Trent Williams, the best offensive lineman in football. Like, it's a fun team.
Yeah.
But I don't think the Giants are going to be 2-15 bad. I got them winning 5 games.
I don't know specifics, but I'm just saying
Yeah.
I'm not getting my hopes up
If it
at
makes you
all.
feel any better, I have the Bears and the Giants picked to win the same amount of ball games this year.
Okay. That's understandable. We're in a rough ship right now.
The only difference is we have a quarterback and y'all don't.
Yeah. Speaking of which,
Oh no.
the one thing I want in my entire like in any sport that I watch is a quarterback that I can get hype over. Like it seems like every other team has this quarterback that they're like, oh my god, he's so promising and nice and really good. We have Daniel Jones. He's been bad for so long. Like even the Steelers are like, we have Kenny Pickett. If everything goes bad, we have Kenny Pickett. But Daniel Jones
You have
is
Tyrod.
I don't care. I don't care. It's just so disappointing. Like the Jags have Trevor Lawrence, of course. You have Justin Herbert and Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson and all these amazing quarterbacks, and the Giants can't get any of that.
If it makes you feel any better, you don't watch college football, do you?
No.
Okay, I don't either. But Alabama almost got beat today, right? Played
Yeah.
Texas, went down to the wire. Bryce Young, the quarterback for Alabama, went off. He had they always say you have a Heisman moment. He might have had his Heisman moment today, where free rusher coming off, he like ducked down, dude flew over him and he took off for a first down, right? Like he looked good. He might be suiting up for Big Blue next year. And that would be a quarterback you can get excited about.
Yeah, but then also the thing is, our entire team surrounding him is awful. So like the line would get him injured,
Offensive
probably.
line isn't that bad.
I
I
mean,
think it's got potential. Andrew Thomas is great.
yeah,
Um, drafted Evan Neal this year. Josh Wadu is somebody I really like. Granted, he's unproven. And then you've got some solid veterans on the line. It could use some work, but
yeah,
it's serviceable.
exactly.
Like it's better than what Chicago's got going on.
Yeah.
And then you've got Saquon. He's
Yeah,
fun if he can stay
I
healthy.
was gonna say my expectation for him is like 2 to 3 solid weeks, and then like broken ankle or ACL tear or something.
It's so unfortunate for him too. I'm sure we've talked about it on here before, but he's not a guy that's like truly injury prone, like maybe that's the wrong word to use for it, but a lot of guys when they're injury prone, it's re-aggravating the same thing over and over and over again, right? You get one leg injury and you just keep doing it. Saquon, every time he gets hurt, it's something different.
Yeah.
So he has just had the worst injury luck out of like any player. It's so unfortunate because, second overall pick, generational running back talent, and he just never had a line to block from, which, like I said, the Giants have a solid line this year. Maybe it's different. They have a fullback this year, so could be something. The biggest concern I have for the Giants offense is the receiver core, because I don't know if you saw the clip of Kenny Golladay in the preseason just not playing football, but he's like the most overpaid receiver in football.
Yeah,
And then
absolutely he is.
there's Kadarius Toney, who I've actually bought a lot of stock in. Like I think Toney's going to be a stud. But outside of that, you've got a bunch of like number 2 receivers fighting to be third. is kind of how I'd describe it. With Darius Slayton and Sterling Shepard, it's a weird room. And then the tight end room is going to be weird, but you've got Daniel Bellinger, who I like a lot, but he's unproven. So there's potential in New York. The
Yeah.
offense, once Daniel Jones is out of the picture,
Hopefully, Jesus
the
Christ.
offense, no, he'll be out no matter what. He would have to have like a historically good season to not get sent out. He's on the last year of his deal. They didn't pick up his 5th-year option. They want to keep him around. They'd have to pay him, and you're not going to pay him if he's not blowing you away, right?
Yeah.
So he's going to be gone. But whoever the next quarterback for that team is, they're going to be inheriting some weapons, and hopefully Kenny Golladay will not be one of them. And the defense should be exciting. There's a lot of fun young pieces there. Kayvon Thibodeau, who's my pick to win Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, I actually do like our defense a lot. A
Yeah.
lot.
Xavier McKinney, who I think is a
Yes.
top 10 safety. Dory Jackson, solid. Leonard Williams is solid. Linebacker core is a little rough, but there's some guys there with upside. The Giants are an interesting team.
Yeah.
They're an interesting team long term. I mean, they're going to be dog shit this year, but long term, they're definitely interesting.
It seems like we've been saying that for a long time, though. You know.
I mean, yeah, I get it. I know the feeling. Trust me.
Oh yeah.
It's just part of optimism, you know.
Yeah, I've been saying I'll give him one more year. We're young, it's fine for like
Yeah.
4 years. It's expected
I
now.
feel like that's what needs to happen. The Giants need to have a good ball team, and you'll finally appreciate the NFL.
Exactly. That
You'll find,
I'll get real into it then.
yeah, once the Giants have a decent team. See, I didn't have that luxury. I just got into it. The Bears haven't been good.
Sadness, just
The
all
first year I
throughout.
was really into the NFL, the Bears went 3-13. So, and we drafted Mitchell Trubisky that offseason. As first year, I was really into it, but I was following it before that, and we were much better.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But if it makes you feel any better, I don't have a lot of faith in the Titans this year.
Yeah.
Their
Me
run
neither.
game is going to be great, but their receivers are rough. Quarterback's bad. Defense is only getting worse. So maybe Brian Dable can pull something out of his ass,
Maybe.
and football can be played. At the end of the day, that's just what you got to hope for. You just got to hope the Giants go out there and they play football.
You know, that is the wish, the hope.
Yeah. I don't know if I've brought this up before, but there's a clip of the Bears running back David Montgomery. He was asked during a press conference what the Bears offense is going to look like this year. He was like, well, we're probably going to run the ball and we're going to throw the ball. He goes, yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to run the ball and we're going to throw the ball. And like, I think that sums it up beautifully and is honestly a more detailed and succinct game plan than anything Matt Nagy ever came up with. So I just had to throw that out there. Fuck Matt
It's
Nagy.
true. Yeah.
Fuck Matt Nagy. All right, what else do we got on the schedule here? We got the Chiefs and the Cardinals. That game's going to be a fucking slaughter.
Mhm.
Cardinals are missing like half of their starters. They're missing like 5 or 6 legitimate important pieces. Saints Falcons, that's going to be another slaughter. Saints are
Yeah.
going to do
Kill
things
them.
that
Awful, terrible.
they're going to do things that I cannot say on this podcast to the Falcons. We've got Dolphins Patriots. That'll be a good game.
Yeah.
Two teams that are like, I've got the Dolphins as a playoff team, and then I have the Patriots at like 6 wins, but it's going to be a competitive game. It's just the Patriots have a bad defense that I have no faith in, which is, first of all, I never thought I'd see the day where I'm picking a team coached by Bill Belichick to win less than 8 or 9 games. But their defense is horrendous. They don't have a secondary, and I have no faith in it. And Patriots fans are calling me a hater, even though I love Bill Belichick and everything he's ever done. It's going to be rough. And then you have the Dolphins, who their defense is solid. They added Tyreek Hill, added the second best running mind in football with Mike McDaniel, and he's going to do some crazy shit. They've got one of the best fullbacks in football. They've got a solid offensive line. It's just kind of up to Tua to pull himself together, and
I
I think
don't.
he can do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. It won't be that hard. I mean, you got Tyreek
Yeah,
Hill.
listen, the thing with Tua is he's going to be playing in an offense very similar to what the Niners have done with Jimmy Garoppolo. And I think I can confidently say Tua can produce like Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah,
That type of offense is very mindless. It's quarterback, take snap, throw to first guy. There isn't a lot of reading the field. There isn't a lot of decision making. It's a lot of play action, scheming your primary target open. If he's not open, then they kind of fall apart. But Tua can move, so he can get outside of the pocket and create.
yeah,
But you're going to have a lot of like Tyreek Hill short. You're probably going to see Tyreek Hill coming out of the backfield, almost like Debo, but not quite the running back that they made Debo. Just because I don't know if Tyreek can take that kind of. I was going to say take that kind of pounding. That would be poor phrasing. Take that kind of physical exertion. No, he can't take that kind of pounding. I mean,
yeah.
there's really no way around it. I
I was
tried.
gonna say-
There's no way around it. The only thing that team doesn't have that the Niners do in terms of like structure, I mean, obviously a lot of their pieces are worse than what the Niners have, but they're at least similar in play style, is like a dominant blocking tight end, which is very important. George Kittle and San Fran. They've got Mike Gesicki, who is a glorified receiver out there. So that's a little concerning, but I think Miami will be solid overall. And like I said, I have them picked to make the playoffs at like 10 wins. So if Tua just plays solid, they can do
yeah,
something. I know a lot of Miami fans are kind of hoping Lamar ends up Miami next year, which would be fucking mental.
yeah. That'd
I
be
mean,
crazy.
in offense, think about this for a minute. A run heavy offense ran by the second greatest run game coordinator in football that features Tyreek Hill, Raheem Mostert, who's one of the fastest running backs in football, Lamar Jackson, and Alec Ingold, who's a top 5 fullback, as well as Teron Armstead, who's one of the best left tackles in football, taking on your Trent Williams role. That would be fucking insane. That would be one of the most unstoppable offenses in football. That would be like Kyle Shanahan's wet dream. It would be insanity. I couldn't even fathom what that man would come up with. Mike McDaniel would literally be foaming at the mouth drawing up plays out of excitement. I mean it. Have you ever seen Mike McDaniel in a press conference, by the way? Just out
Yeah.
of curiosity. Doesn't he give off just like chill stoner vibes?
Yes. Yes.
He's like, I think he's like the NFL's Logic. That's what he reminds me of. He kind of looks like Logic, and he's
Yeah.
biracial like Logic. But he's just so chill, and I think the idea, like when he talks about football, it's just soothing. Like you can just tell he loves it. He loves the run game. Like I posted a clip to my TikTok of him talking about the importance of the fullback. Probably seen that clip 100 times, just because of like how spot on he is. And like I said, just adding Lamar Jackson to that would be fucking mental.
Yeah.
So if they could pull that off, I know I've been itching my nose like crazy. If they could pull that off, that would be insanity.
Yeah. I've also been itching my nose like crazy. I've been doing it more than you have. I feel like people are gonna assume that I'm doing like crack, but there's hairs on the microphone that keep getting into my nose.
Why are there hairs on your microphone?
I don't. It's a fuzzy dude, and I have cats. They're probably coming over and rubbing
Oh,
against it and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, so they're like literally inside of my
Ew.
nose.
Ew. I don't like cats.
Dude, I
No
I didn't
offense, but I
I
don't
didn't
like
like
cats.
cats. I got bitten by a cat with rabies when I was a little kid, so
Damn.
I had to get a whole bunch of shots and stuff. But like, my girlfriend really likes cats. She has 6 cats.
Jeez.
So I've had to learn to like them, and I do like them
Fair
now.
enough. I mean, that's as valid of a reason to like them as anything. See, but we're not going to go there. Never mind.
Okay.
Never mind.
Okay.
I don't. I don't have a reason to like cats. We'll put it that way.
Okay. Understandable.
Anyway, back to football.
Yep.
One game we haven't talked about yet that I'm excited for is the Jaguars and the Commanders, because I think the Jaguars are going to go in and win. I think the Jaguars are going to go out there, and that isn't a knock on the Commanders. Like, I think they're going to be a solid ball team, but I'm really excited to see what Trevor Lawrence is going to do with Doug Peterson. See, there I go again.
Yeah.
Doug Peterson is a good head coach. Like, he was probably my number one pick for Chicago, right? As much as I love Matt Eberflus, Doug Peterson is a great coach. And the only thing that Jaguars offense is lacking is like high level firepower at receiver. But they did add Christian Kirk. You know, as much as we clown him for being overpaid, he's solid. And Evan Ingram, you know, as a Giants fan, I'm sure you know he's not great, but he fits what Doug Peterson wants, which is basically a glorified receiver at tight end that can line up in the slot and do work from there. And then Travis Etienne's a good receiver out of the backfield. James Robinson's a good relief running back. I'm excited to see what that offense is going to look like when it's fully unlocked. And I think Trevor Lawrence is going to come out and make a statement week one, say that Jaguars might be pushovers, but I'm not. So I'm here to change shit. And Carson Wentz fell apart against the Jaguars last year, and it wouldn't shock me to see him do it again. The Commanders are also going to be without their starting running back since, I guess he is their starting running back now. Would have been Brian Robinson, who unfortunately got shot, which he might play this year, which is crazy. Yeah, like they are actually hoping he comes back, which great. I hope he does. I think Brian Robinson's going to be a stud. He was actually going to be my pick to win Offensive Rookie of the Year if he played. Like, I'm that high on this guy. I think he's going to be awesome. But they don't have him. They have Antonio Gibson, who I have a lot of problems with and has a big fumbling problem. And their defense is paper thin. Like, if somebody goes down, that defense is going to completely collapse. So I think the Jaguars are going to be able to go in and kind of take advantage of the Commanders week one. And I'm excited to see it because I think it's really going to change the like 5 people who aren't confident in Trevor Lawrence's minds. Like, they're out there. I know one very well. Guy came on this podcast for the Jets team preview by the name of Zach from a podcast called Breaking Down the Tape. He's very, very anti-Trevor Lawrence, which is funny because he's a Jets fan and he believes in Zach Wilson, but he doesn't believe in Trevor Lawrence, and that's coming from someone who likes Zach Wilson. But people like that, I think, are going to be flipped very quickly with Trevor Lawrence. I think he's going to come out and make a statement, and I'm excited to see it. All right, what other games are here that we haven't talked about? Colts Texans is like the only one we haven't talked about that's happening on Sunday. And I mean, the Texans are going to get mollywops.
I mean, that's just going to be bad. That's going to be awful. Yeah.
I mean, there's stuff to watch in that game. I'm excited to see Nico Collins, the Texans' second receiver. I like him a lot. I think he was like my breakout candidate pick. And then Dameon Pierce, their rookie running back, a lot of people are picking to win Rookie of the Year, which is very possible. He's a great running back. But other than that, defense has a lot of problems. There's young pieces there that fit well in the defense they want to run. But, you know, 4th, 5th round pick type guys, other than Derek Stingley, who was their 1st round pick, but he didn't play his entire senior year because of an injury. So Davis Mills is somebody I'm not super confident in. So Texans are probably going to have a rough game. Meanwhile, the Colts, they just extended the best guard in football, Quentin Nelson, for like 3 years, $80 million or something crazy. They have Jonathan Taylor, who won Offensive Player of the Year. Receiver core got better. Offensive line's great. Defense got better. They have a quarterback now.
Yeah.
Like, I have the Colts picked to win 12 games. I think they're going to be a damn good ball team. And I think, like I said, they're going to go in and mollywop the Texans.
Yeah.
Which,
hopefully Jonathan Taylor, especially. I have him in fantasy, and I'm banking on that.
Yeah. Speaking of fantasy, I got to fill up our league.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to be drafting after the first week of the season, which kind of sucks. Did you invite your brothers?
Yes.
Are they in it?
Yes.
Okay. I talked to Chris, and Chris is going to join.
Sick.
I don't know how many spots that leaves. But
2, I think. 3 or 2 or 3.
okay, I'll have to figure that out because I don't really have anyone I can invite because 90% of the people I talk to don't like football. It's like you, Daniel, Josh, and Ricky, and you're all already in the league, and Chris is joining, so
Yeah.
it's rough. But I don't know. I'll get Emily to join. Could you imagine?
That'd be horrifying. She's actually like really smart with football and like demolishes
Secretly,
all the.
this whole time, no, she'd get her dad to draft her team,
Oh,
and
that
her
would.
dad would. I don't know. Does her dad follow pro football? I know he loves college ball.
I think he just watches college ball.
Respectable. He's a UNC fan. We
Yeah.
respect that here. Because he played at UNC, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
That's
knew that.
crazy. That's crazy to think
It is
about.
good. Yeah, but I mean, it makes sense. He's a big dude.
Yeah. Big dude.
I used to think he was really scary.
I still do. I'm
Well,
terrified of him.
you have a different experience with him than I do, I think.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna say he likes me. That would have made it sound like he doesn't like you. I don't
Because he
know.
likes me.
Right? I didn't mean it like that. But like, in all fairness,
I know. I get it.
No, do you want to hear a really funny story? Just real quick while we're on that
Yes.
topic. Kind of bring
Yes.
it back to theater. Uh, I went to see what show? Rock of Ages or whatever the show is called with my mom and my sisters. And we didn't know that the show was kind of like inappropriate. Because you got a dude walking around like grabbing his dick and thrusting.
Oh.
And like it made my one sister uncomfortable. So we left at intermission, right? And I felt really bad because Emily really wanted me to be there and I couldn't see the second half of the show. So when we were walking out, I walked past her parents while my mom was kind of ranting like, I'm sorry we had to go, but I just couldn't let your sister sit through that. And her dad looked at me and we made eye contact. And I just put my head down and kept walking. I felt so bad. Like any other time, I would have said hi to him because I'm cool with them. But like, no, I just made eye contact with him and just walked.
Like, sorry, sir. Sorry, sir.
Pretty much, yeah. Because I felt so bad. And then like when we were walking out, I texted Emily and was like, hey, we had to leave early. Sorry. She left me on open for like the rest of the day. And I was like, oh, fuck, I pissed her off. It was so conflicted. She ended up being fine. But like, I felt so bad. And I was so embarrassed. Like, I understood why we had to go, but I was so embarrassed.
Understandable. Understandable.
Oh, my. Yeah. Isn't it crazy to think we're talking about people in this podcast that'll never see it?
Yeah. That's
Yeah. That's crazy. Like, I don't know if you saw, but the last episode we uploaded got 2 views.
Jesus, man.
3, I think, actually. Because I
Yeah.
opened it up to like it, and that gave it a 3rd view.
God, YouTube just does not like these hour 20-minute videos.
It's probably because I had Patrick Beverly in the thumbnail.
You know what? Yeah.
I feel like that's probably what it is. I'll put somebody more likable in the thumbnail of this one. Who should I put?
I have no idea.
Who's a really likable football player?
Jonathan Taylor.
I'll put Josh Allen. He gets views. He gets views.
Nobody hates Josh Allen.
Nobody hates Josh Allen. No. Although I will say I don't like how he's becoming overrated.
Yeah.
People are trying to say he's better than Mahomes after one ball game. And quite frankly, I think that's a little goofy. Great ball player, but he's not the best quarterback in football yet. Probably won't be because him and Mahomes are going to be growing together.
Yeah, the same age, basically.
He is the Peyton Manning to Patrick Mahomes' Tom Brady.
Yeah.
And that's how it will stay. And that leaves Justin Herbert to be like the awkward Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah.
Except
Phillip Rivers.
No, I don't think he'd be Phillip because he's going to get one. He's going to get one at some point.
Yeah.
But he's Ben Roethlisberger minus the off the field. Because Justin Herbert is like actually a fucking genius.
Yeah. He's just like he's that guy.
He is that guy. He's a Cali surfer dude who's like, I can't remember what it was he did in college, but he did some crazy shit with science. Like super biochemistry, maybe?
Jesus, dude.
It's something crazy, yeah. Like he's actually super smart. Which is crazy to think about.
Yeah.
Because like if he wasn't playing football right now, he could go be like a scientist.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild. Could you imagine?
Yeah. He's wasting his time.
Yeah, honestly. He could be out there curing cancer and here he is throwing to football. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's a joke.
Yeah, that's why I'm laughing.
You're laughing? I'm
Yeah.
talking about cancer right now and you're laughing.
I'm so sorry. Are you stalling? What are you doing?
I don't know what I'm doing. No, oh, fun thing. Remember last time we recorded, I was like, hey, my asthma's acting up really bad and I can't breathe.
Yeah.
Turns out it wasn't asthma. It was anxiety.
Oh.
Yeah. So I got a appointment to talk to somebody on Wednesday. He's a funky little black dude named Chris. Seems like a fun guy.
Yeah.
He's gonna tell me what's wrong with me, I guess. He's probably just gonna be like, listen, man, it's the hat. It's the logo on the hat.
Take the hat off.
Take the hat off. Let your demons out. And you'll be fine. Just wait until Justin Fields develops, then you can pick it back up.
Yeah.
Just give it a little bit of time, please. Just give it a little bit of time. It is detrimental to your health. And then they'll be like, sir, there is football on tomorrow. And I'll walk out.
I don't care.
And then have a heart attack. No, that's just going to end up happening. Like, since I apparently am dealing with anxiety now, the wrong thing's going to happen in a game and my blood pressure is going to skyrocket and I'm going to die. Justin Fields is going to throw an interception against the Packers and I'm going to croak. Knock on wood. I don't actually let it happen.
Yeah, Jesus.
But, like, that's a thing now that I'm dealing with. College sucks. Don't go. Just kidding. You should probably go.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
Have you decided where you're going yet?
Yeah, FSU, mass communications.
Nah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah.
We probably won't have any classes together. But
well, I hope we don't because you're like 2 grades above me.
Yeah, well, college works like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I hope we do then, actually, because
Yeah.
that means that I'm in the advanced classes for my.
That's not how college isn't like high school.
Okay.
Okay, no, there's not advanced classes. There's like classes that require prerequisites that are kind of like a part 2.
Part 2?
Yeah, but it's not like you guys are in academic, you guys are in honors, you guys are in AP. Yeah, it's not like that in college. Yeah. But like there's a chance that like if you're a mass communications major to start, you'll probably have a mass comm class. You'll probably have digital media literacy class. So those I have a fun schedule this year. I have mass comm. I have, I'm sorry, it's not mass comm. It's intro to communications, and then I have media literacy. I have graphic design. I have my IDIS, which is like interdisciplinary studies, which you have to take. You can either take it freshman or sophomore year. Probably should have taken it freshman year, but I didn't get a chance to. But that class is fun because it's just like a random topic, and the point is just to kind of like get your brain going, so to speak. Like mine is called Classics Remixed, where we're talking about how classic literature has been adapted into modern literature. So like we were talking first week, we talked about fairy tales, and it ended up with us watching Into the Woods. First time I've seen that, by the way. Really good movie.
Yeah.
I understand why you and Daniel sang Agony now. It's a fucking banger.
It is a banger.
Song goes hard.
Yeah.
Other song that goes hard, the one with the wolf. It's really creepy, but it goes hard because Johnny Depp.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But like that class, I just want to say, pray you don't get it because it'll ruin your perspective on childhood. Because the whole time we're talking about Red Riding Hood, And this woman's like, why is her hood red? And someone's like, because it stands out, because red is a color. And then she's like, okay, why does it have to be a girl? Why couldn't it be a little boy? And everyone's like, I don't know. And she's like, well, red represents lust and passion. The story is about little girls going out into the world and becoming women, if you catch my drift. She turned Little Red Riding Hood into a fucking perverted story. We read a version where it ends with Little Red Riding Hood sleeping with the wolf.
Oh.
Except the wolf is a werewolf. So it's like kind of better, but not really.
Yeah.
Because he's like in wolf form when the stuff happens.
Okay.
And the wolf still eats her grandmother.
What? What
Yeah.
was the point then?
I think it was survival because I think there were like other wolves outside too. She's like, well, I can either fight them all or I can fuck this one and it'll save me. So I don't know.
So,
Yeah, and we read a version of Jack and the Beanstalk where I think it was implied that Jack was bisexual.
why? What?
I mean, I don't. It was an interesting detail, I guess. Um, and also the narrator called Jack a dumbass, not like literally a dumbass, but called him like a stupid boy and an idiot and a nuisance like multiple times. He was
Oh
just
my
very
god.
mean to him. Um, we read a version of Beauty and the Beast too, where like Belle or the Beauty in the story, she wasn't named Belle, just Beauty in the story, like lived with the Beast, and then when she came back, everyone in the town had thought she like ran off to be passed around by princes in another country, and then when she was like used up, she came back. Yeah, it's
Jesus.
fucking morbid, dude. And then next week we're reading Beowulf, and then later on in the semester we're reading Shakespeare.
Oh.
So Shakespeare's fun. I personally like Shakespeare. I don't know if you like
I
Shakespeare.
don't like Shakespeare. I don't like Shakespeare because I can't say it, you know? I feel like an idiot.
I mean, that's fair. I'm weird and I kind of understand it, so I enjoy
Yeah.
it.
I mean, I like recently I'd like listened to the Hamlet monologue, of course, like to be or not to be, that is a question.
Hmm.
I like got into tears because like I was like actually started like listening to the words, and it's heartbreaking.
Yeah,
And the performance that I was watching, I was like, oh my god, how do you do that? Because
yeah.
when I read Shakespeare, I'm literally just like, let me get past this line because I don't want the attention on me when I'm talking like this.
Yeah. That reminds me, I'm still so sad we didn't do 12th Night.
Yeah. You know, I'm glad I didn't get a main part in that. First of all, because Shakespeare. Second of all, because like the best part of that show for me was the music, anyways. Like the songs in that show,
I agree.
bangers. They're
I
so
agree.
good. But that like I would not have enjoyed being like Orsino, and that I would have lost my mind.
Yeah. I mean, I was pretty happy with it.
Yeah, I mean, of
And
course,
yeah, I got to play a fucking drunk man.
the drunkle.
The drunkle. The drunkle that spent the whole play fucking with somebody. Like that was the best part. My character was just a dick.
Yeah, just for
Like,
like no
just for
reason.
entertainment.
Yeah.
And like still somehow at the end he gets a girl. Like he's rewarded for being an asshole. uh would have been great.
Yeah.
Very unfortunate. But speaking of which, are you gonna do theater at Frostburg?
Probably.
I'm thinking about minoring in theater.
I'm thinking about majoring in theater as well. Double major.
Fair. Fair. I talked to Brian and he said the minor takes like 4 extra classes because that's what he did. So I'm thinking about it because
Yeah.
like theater helps with like on camera presence and whatnot. You know, I can sway it that way to make it make sense for my
Yeah.
field. Because like it's true, if you're comfortable on a stage, you'll be comfortable in camera.
Yeah.
Like I probably wouldn't be comfortable doing podcasts and whatnot in TikTok if it wasn't for doing theater in high school.
Exactly.
And also, I just want to act again. I miss it so much. I miss it so much.
I understand. I
Yeah.
understand that. The reason I would do anything in that theater is because like screenplays, like they do like
Yeah.
a screenwriting class, and I want to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
Okay. So that's what you want to do? You want to be like a screenwriter?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Respect it. I respect it. You can write a movie about me when I'm famous.
I will. A autobiography, a biography.
I was gonna say autobiography would require me to write it. You
I
want me to be
know.
your ghostwriter for that one?
Yeah,
Is that what you're
yeah.
trying to tell me? You want to take the
I'll be
credit?
like, oh, it was a crazy interview. He let so much loose. Like
Oh,
he remembered everything perfectly and told me.
in all fairness, I think you probably know enough now to just write it.
Yeah, I guess.
Like, I don't think you need the interview. I can fill in the gaps, but
Yeah.
no. Yeah, we need to do that soon before Jack Black retires,
Oh yeah.
because that's who has to play me.
Oh, but yeah.
Jack
Please.
Black, Jack Black, or Q from Impractical Jokers, one or the other. Because I apparently look like both of them.
Yeah, both are fine. Both will
Yeah,
work.
or Terrakion from Pokemon.
Terrakion from Pokemon?
Yeah, I can't remember who it is, but someone I know swears that I look like it.
Terrakion?
It's like a big muscle dog thing.
I don't know about that.
I don't remember who it was that told me that, but that stuck with me. Someone told me I look like that Pokemon like years ago.
I,
Maybe I used to look like him, but I don't anymore.
I don't think you look like Terrakion.
I don't either. I don't see it personally. Um, well, I think we covered. Did we cover all the games? No, we didn't talk about Seahawks Broncos and Buccaneers Cowboys. Buccaneers Cowboys is going to be a good game.
Yeah.
The Cowboys are kind of falling apart though. They're having issues on their offensive line. They only have like one viable receiver right now. So I'm interested to see how their offense is going to work. I have a lot of faith in Dak Prescott though.
Yeah.
So should be interesting. And then Tom Brady's my MVP pick. Like I said earlier, I think 45 years old, coming out of retirement, doesn't have Gronk anymore. His wide receiver core is diminished. His offensive line's a little bit worse. His head coach retired. If he has a good season statistically, he has all the narratives in his favor. So I think if Tom Brady has a good season, like I'm predicting him to, like I think the Bucks win the NFC and go to the Super Bowl. So if that happens, I think Brady will win MVP. And I think it'll be interesting to see how the team starts off. Because like I said, not having Gronk's going to be hard for Brady.
Yeah.
And then the other game, Broncos Seahawks. I mean, the Seahawks are going to suck, and the
There,
Broncos are. A lot of people are confident in them. I don't see the hype personally, but they are better than Seattle.
at least, yeah.
Yeah. However, if Seattle could win that game, that'd be great because it'll fit my narrative very well. So that's like the one game I'm hoping for a win just based off of my narratives.
Mhm.
I'm not a big narrative pusher, but I want the Broncos to fail because all the Broncos fans hate me for picking them to win 9 games, and I want to see them win less than that. That'd be sick. Seattle does have some stuff going for them, though. You got a good receiver core. Running back
Yeah.
room should be nice. Kenneth Walker isn't going to play the first game. So it'll be interesting to see how Rashad Penny plays, considering he's kind of a fluke. He's a fraud. I think he's incredibly overrated. He's played 6 good games, and I think he's going into his 4th season. So 6 good games in 3 years, and people think he's a top 10 running back, which is insane to me. But their secondary is kind of iffy. It's young, but it's iffy. It's just kind of a lot of young, unproven guys. There's a lot of teams like that in the NFL right now where there's a lot of guys with upside, just not much going for them. Pretty much any team that's rebuilding. That's how a rebuild works. That's
Yeah.
what I just described. I described a rebuilding football team. And that's what the Seahawks are. And they're another team that's going to be in a competition to get a quarterback in the draft. Bryce
Yeah.
Young, CJ Stroud, Will Levis, kid from Florida. I can't remember his name. Anthony something. Anthony Richardson, maybe? I don't know. There's a lot of good quarterbacks coming up in this class. It's going to be a lot better than this last one. So quarterback needy teams are going to be in good shape. Now, unless there's anything you want to add.
I got two things.
Okay.
First of all, we've been living in a rental house for this whole time the podcast has been active, and finally we're moving back into our old house. So I will be going through a move.
Your old house is okay?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's sick. So
That's
I'm gonna be
awesome.
moving back. I'm gonna have a sick desk in my room. It'll be way better for sound. There won't be literally a 100 square foot room with nothing to block the sound anymore. So it'll be a lot better.
Yeah.
And secondly, I finished the script for the Stranger Things review. It took so long.
The mythical Stranger Things review.
It took so long. It took so many revisions. I finally got it done. And now I need to start working on every other part of it. My ETA for that being done is 3 to 4 months. Okay.
Hey, keep waiting, I guess. Build up the hype.
Yeah, we'll have 500 subscribers by that point. It'll be a meme on the channel or something. It'll be like, when's it coming out? And I need to literally learn how to edit. And when I asked Drake about the copyright stuff, it was just don't make it too long. And I was like, well, thanks.
I think you can Google. I'm sure the laws are Googleable. I think if you're including clips with it, I think you can do a certain amount of time, cut it, certain amount of time, cut it. It's just consecutive. It can't be. If you have breaks in between, you should be fine.
Yeah.
So we'll manage.
Yeah, it's fine. We're good.
See, I got to do the same. I got to learn I got to get a decent laptop first, but I got to learn how to edit as well because I want to start making full-back video essays. The people want them. I've been asked. I gotta do full full biographies on fullbacks. Talk about the best fullback seasons, the worst fullback seasons.
That's very
and everything in between. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is that it?
That's all.
I said, is that it? That really downplayed it. I'm sorry. Those are great updates. Thank you for sharing with the class.
Of course.
That's actually awesome about your house, though. I'm really happy for you.
Thanks, man.
I didn't, respectfully, I didn't know what shape your house was in.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what the deal was. But, W.
W, yeah.
W for improving your living conditions. Common and your living condition W.
Oh my god.
Oh, this is what happens when we record.
Yep.
This is yep. This is what happens when we record a podcast at 12:30 at night and I'm fucking sleep deprived.
Yeah, I'm passing out when we're done.
I'm not going to. I'm probably going to sit here for another 3 hours and then pass out. This anxiety shit's no joke. I can't sleep for longer than 6 hours uninterrupted.
Jesus.
It sucks.
I would die.
Yeah, and I know that's a cycle. That's what happens, right? You get anxious and then it causes you not to be able to sleep, but because you can't sleep right, you get more anxious and then you're stuck.
Yeah.
So when I talk to the funky little black fella, I'm sure he'll. Is that racist? I don't think that's racist.
I don't think so. I think it's more racist if you say funky little African American.
Yeah.
At this point they're like, it's okay, just say it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. The funky little black fella named Chris. I have to show him the podcast.
Oh my god. He'll be like, this is why you worry about this stuff too much.
No, that might actually be part of it. I have been stressing a little bit about this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Not so much YouTube. YouTube, I'm kind of in acceptance that we're going to get inconsistent views until we settle down. That's something we need to do. We need to settle down and come up with a schedule.
Yeah.
But until we do that, kind of accepted that we're going to be inconsistent, but TikTok's been weird. And it's not my fault. It's just their algorithm sucks.
Yeah,
So it's
real
very
bad.
up and down. Have you been posting on TikTok?
Not really. Like I don't have the time. After soccer's over, I think I'm gonna overhaul though.
Fair.
Pretty bad. Pretty bad
Mm-hmm.
overall. And like I'm more of an NBA TikToker, and literally nothing has gone on in the NBA
Yeah.
for so long.
Well, that's why you gotta
Expand.
not expand. You gotta start making stuff up. You know, like
Yeah.
kind of like what I did. You do the trends, you do the filters. Stray away from just being like
Let's talk
thing
about
happened,
let's talk
here's my
about this.
opinion. Yeah,
Yeah.
thing happened, opinion. Be like, hey, trending sound, funny basketball. Or like, let's rank NBA players blindly. Or like just talk about random things in basketball. You like talk about random players, talk about like predictions and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like that's what I see. I gotta get better at that too. Just talking about random stuff. I don't do it enough. But like that's something a lot of people do. Something will just pop into their head. They'll make a video about it. Like, well, I wonder how this player did in this season. Well, let's find out and make a video. Like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I should do that.
You know what? I'll write that down somewhere.
Do it right now.
I'll put it on my computer in docs.
In talks. Okay.
It's going down.
It's going down. All right. Oh, that's not good. Listen, side note, real quick. I gotta remember I have a following on TikTok now, so I can't just comment on TikToks
Yeah, or people will be like, "Oh my god."
because people find me. Like, for example, right? A couple weeks ago, I tagged Emily in some TikTok. It was like a baby bear, right?
Yeah.
Because that's like my favorite animal. And me and Emily like send stuff to each other back and forth about bears, right?
Hmm.
And I tagged her, and somebody that follows me that I recognized, right? Somebody that like comments on a lot of my TikToks was like, "Ooh, did I just stumble onto something?" I was like, "No,
You didn't.
no, you didn't. You did not. Don't act like you did." But I wasn't that aggressive about it. I was just like, "Nah, she's the homie." And then he was like, "Oh, I get it. You guys are like Justin Fields and Cole Kmet." I was like, "Yeah, man, you
Yeah,
got
man.
it.
Yeah.
You got it." Literally, that's how that it was a fucking hilarious rebound by him. Like he did well. And the reason I brought that up is because I saw this TikTok, right? And I'm not going to say exactly what it was about, but I was just like, it was like a slideshow on TikTok. And I was like, damn, those first 3 slides hit a little too close to home. And someone that follows me replied and said, least depressed Bears fan. One of these days, I'm gonna say something like stupid. It's not even like I'm saying anything offensive. It's just stupid shit, right? I'm gonna say something stupid, and someone's gonna like call the cops, and I'm gonna get a wellness check. Like, for example, I'm gonna do it on here too because they'll never see it. I was talking to Geek on his podcast, and I brought up that there's this like really attractive Bills fan that follows me on Twitter because Geek made a joke and said he was gonna like make a TikTok bachelor or something, right? And I was like, I'm not interested, but like if you're that Bills fan that follows me, my DMs are open, some goofy shit like that. And he was like, well, I'm going to make sure she sees this now. And that's gonna happen one day. Something like that is gonna happen.
Oh
And I'm
god.
gonna have to answer for my sin. Because like it could be worse. I could be saying fuck shit, but I'm saying goofy shit. But the
Yeah.
goofy shit's gonna get me in trouble. I'm gonna say the wrong thing to the wrong person. I'm gonna have to answer for my sins.
Oh my.
I'm gonna like what's gonna happen is I'm gonna make an offhand comment about like a girl in my class or something, and she's gonna somehow stumble upon my TikTok and find it,
And you're
and
done
then
for.
then I'm cooked. Like she's gonna find it and then be like, "Oh, can you explain this?" And I'll be like, "Yeah,
No, I can't
I
accept that.
cannot. I cannot." I'm gonna be so cooked. It's gonna happen. It's inevitable. I need to just accept my fate. Oh, that makes me mad. I posted a TikTok about my awards predictions and it only has 60 views.
How long ago?
Like 2 hours.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh well, TikTok hates me sometimes. I posted another video earlier today and it has 1,000, so I guess give and take.
Yeah.
Unfortunate. But anyways, unless there's anything else you want to add.
I'm good.
Oh no, no, no. I got another reply to that. That TikTok I commented on where I said the first 3 slides said a little too close to home. Someone said, "Are you okay, fullback man?"
Fullback man. Oh my god.
I'm cooked. I have to make a response now.
You have to.
I'm gonna make a TikTok about it. I have to. Oh my! But anyways, like I said, unless you have anything else you want to add, I think that about does it. We made it almost 2 hours. This is a longer episode.
Yeah.
Feels good.
Yep.
All it took was me bullshitting. No, but anyways, if you guys enjoyed, make sure to leave a like. The likes are very hard to come by on YouTube nowadays, and I really appreciate a like. It would make my day. It would make fullback man okay if Rubber Ducky and I'm sorry, Rubber Duck Enjoyer is watching this. Leave a like and it will make fullback man better. Um, let's see. We got to get him to leave a comment. Leave a comment down below. Who's your Super Bowl pick? Who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl? The Super Bowl's going to be at the end of the year. Who do you think it is? I personally think it's going to be the Buccaneers. Andrew, who do you think it's going to be?
Oh god. Well, now I'm nervous. I think the Bills have a shot.
Okay, that's
That's the safe
I was
pick.
gonna say that's the safe pick, but it's respectable and it's reasonable. I think the Super Bowl would probably be Bucks Bills. If I was a betting man, that would be my pick. But I'm not. It's not legal for me to bet in the state of Maryland yet,
Yep.
apparently. So I'm not a betting man. But if I was, that would probably be my pick. But anyways, make sure to let us know who you think is going to win in the Super Bowl down below. If you disagree with anything we said, make sure to yell at us so we can ignore you because nobody cares about your opinion. I'm just kidding. I will respond to you to boost the algorithm only, not to actually engage with you because you are all statistics and data to me.
Oh my god.
I'm kidding.
They just took their
I'm
likes away. They took their likes away.
put the likes back. I'm joking. Like for Andrew. Do it for Andrew. Look at him. He's a kind fellow. He deserves it. Let him know he's a good man. Just comment down below. Andrew is a good man. That's what we're going
If
for.
you made an hour and 42 minutes into this
Yeah,
video.
there you go. If you made it this far, comment down below. Andrew is a good man. Make sure to stay tuned. Hopefully, we're going to get back to weekly episodes. That's the plan. We're going to come up with some actual upload schedules so you guys can start anticipating when these are coming out. I got to wrap up the team previews. There's 2 left, and I got to post them after the first week of the season since recording became a bitch the last couple weeks. But it is what it is. But yeah, to everyone out there watching and Andrew as well, I hope you all have a wonderful day, night, evening, afternoon, whatever time of day it is for you. I hope you enjoy it because you're all wonderful people.